Hi everyone and welcome back to Legal Bee. Today's video is all about something you hear every day, banks and NBFCs. Now, you may have wondered, what is the difference between a bank and an NBFC? Can both accept deposits? Are they equally regulated by the RBI? And why do NBFCs even exist when we already have the banks? These are very relevant questions, especially if you're preparing for exams like IBPS, SO Law Officer, SEBI Grade A, RBI, or even General Insurance and Finance exams. So, today we are going to break this down using simple terms, practical examples, and zero jargons. Let's get started. Let's begin with the more familiar one, banks. Banks are financial institutions that do four key things. Number one, they accept money from the public, like when we deposit into our savings or current accounts, right? Then they also give out loans, right? Then they help in day to day transactions like check payments, UPI, right? Net banking. And they're also involved in creating credit, right? Meaning they circulate and grow the money supply in the economy. Banks are regulated by the Reserve Bank of India and they are mandated to follow the rules which are stipulated under the Banking Regulations Act of 1949. Other than this, since they are a part of the official financial system, they can also issue checkbooks, they can issue debit cards, right? They can allow you to withdraw or transfer money anytime. So basically, banks equals to deposit plus lending plus transactions plus payment. It's like a full package. Now let's talk about NBFCs, right? Which is non banking financial companies. Right. They sound similar to banks, and in some ways they are, but there's a big difference. NBFCs are companies that give loans, right, which offer investment products. They do vehicle financing, microfinance, or even housing finance, right? But they cannot do a few things that banks can. Most importantly, NBFCs cannot accept savings or current account deposits. They also cannot issue checkbooks or be a part of India's official payment system. Correct? Right. Now, the idea is that NBFCs are registered under the Companies Act, right? And yes, they are also regulated by RBI, but not with the same level of control as banks, right? Think of Bajaj Finance or Muthoot Finance or HDB Financial Services or Shriram Transport. All of these are NBFCs. So NBFCs give you loans, but they don't function like your neighborhood bank. Now, let's now compare them side by side. I'll keep it easy and use simple points, no legal jargons, promise. So, number one is who can take your money, right? So, banks can accept deposits from you. For example, savings account, current account, fixed deposits, all are included in this. However, NBFCs cannot accept demand deposit. That means no savings or current accounts. Some NBFCs, however, do offer fixed deposits, but only if they are allowed by the RBI. Then, who can issue checks, right? So, banks have the authority uh, to give you a checkbook. Their accounts are a part of the RBI's payment system. Whereas NBFCs, they cannot issue checks, right? They're not allowed to process payments directly. Number third, are they both regulated by RBI? The answer to this question is yes, but the level of regulation is different, right? Banks are closely monitored. They have to maintain CRR, SLR, capital adequacy, regular audits, whereas NBFCs are regulated too, but only for certain types. RBI, however, now uses a new scale-based regulation system whereby the large NBFCs are watched more strictly than smaller ones. Number 4, can both give loans? Then the answer is yes. Both can lend money. In fact, some NBFCs are more aggressive lenders than banks, right? NBFCs are basically big players when it comes to personal loans, vehicle loans, business loans, and housing finance, right? Another pertinent point of difference is that can both of them create credit? Then the answer is no. Only banks can truly create credit by circulating the deposits and issuing loans, right? NBFCs basically lend what they have or they have borrowed from others, right? They do not create money in the economy, right? Another point of difference or another question that comes up is, are your deposits safe in both banks as well as NBFCs? So in banks, your deposits are insured up to 5 lakh rupees under the DICGC, that is Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation, right? Whereas in NBFCs, there is no deposit insurance. Even if you put money in an NBFC fixed deposit, there is no guarantee of recovery if it falls, right? Now, can NBFC call themselves banks? It's a very pertinent question that keeps coming in examinations. So the answer is no. NBFCs are prohibited from using the word bank in their names, right? So I think these are several questions that comes up, and I'm sure that this would have helped you in understanding the difference between the two sort of institutions. Now, let's understand this with a real life comparison. For example, let's say you go to HDFC Bank and you open a savings account. You deposit 10,000 rupees. You get interest, you get a debit card, you get online banking access, and now you can withdraw money anytime. Now, on the other hand, there is another person which goes to Bajaj Finance. Now, Bajaj Finance basically offers this person, number one, either a loan for, let's say, his fridge on EMI or a fixed deposit at a higher interest rate, right? But they won't let you open a savings account and you won't get a debit card. Do you see the difference? So banks are basically for storing, lending, and transaction, whereas NBFCs mostly lend or basically give you loans and offer financial services. Now, you may be thinking, if banks can do more, why do NBFCs exist? Well, NBFCs play a very important role in the Indian economy. They reach out to unbanked or underbanked areas, right? They lend to small businesses, self employed people, or those with thin credit history, right? Now, also, they are faster, they are more flexible than traditional banks in many ways. Think of NBFCs as the nimble cousins of banks. Not as heavily regulated, but incredibly useful in their niche. So let's quickly recap what we have learned. Number one, banks and NBFCs both lend money. Number two, only banks can take deposits, issue checks, and be part of the official payment system. Third, NBFCs are also regulated by RBI, but not to the same extent as that of banks. Number four, both are crucial for India's financial ecosystem, right? Now, before we wrap up, let me quickly tell you how iExamB can help you sort of to prepare faster and smarter for exams like these or any other competitive banking or regulatory exam that you're targeting. If you're wondering how to stay updated with current affairs without wasting hours scrolling the internet, we've got Bpedia for you. This is our exclusive daily, weekly, monthly general awareness magazines, which are curated by experts. It's available right on the iExamB website under the general awareness tab, and it covers exactly what's relevant for your exam, nothing extra, nothing less. This is how we help you cover more in less time while keeping your preparation focused and strategic. So, if you are serious about cracking the exam on your first attempt, this is your sign to explore the iExamB platform today. Like the video, subscribe to Legal Bee, drop your questions in the comments. I'll reply to them personally. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.